Sir Isaac Newton is considered to be the godfather of modern physics.
For counsel, for help. I can't remember the last time that he invited me to your house.
Not this godfather.
Even though my wife is godmother to your only child.
Newton's first law states that every object in a state of uniform motion tends to remain in that state of motion unless an external force is applied to it. The second law states that a body's rate of change of momentum is proportional to the force causing it. This can be explained by the force equals mass times acceleration. The third law states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction force, equal in magnitude but opposite in direction.
An example of Newton's third law is when we sit on a chair. We have the force of gravity pushing down, and we have the normal force pushing back. But if Newton's third law didn't work, we would fall through the chair. This is the free body diagram of a person sitting in the chair.
Just like in The Godfather, many feature films demonstrate the principle of Newton's third law. Jumping over to the classically famous Titanic, the major plot twist of the gorgeous ship crashing into the iceberg is majorly based on Newton's discoveries. In this disastrous event, when the ship crashes into the iceberg, this is considered the action force, while the iceberg pushes the ship away, which is thought of as the reaction force. The forces of these actions can be calculated using the force equation. By taking the weight of the ship and using the acceleration it travels, the force acting on the iceberg can be calculated. The same can be done for the iceberg. Newton's law is very important to the story of the Titanic because without this law, the ship would have traveled straight through the iceberg since there would have been no reaction force.
Okay, that's not good.
Additionally, Newton's third law is shown in The Dark Knight. Batman drives a motorcycle. Without Newton's third law, Batman would have been a sitting duck in the middle of Gotham, and the Joker would have won. As the wheels of the motorcycle spin, they push the road in a backwards motion. In reaction to this force, the road pushes against the wheels and launches the motorcycle forward. This pairing of forces allows Batman to speed along, weaving through the city of Gotham to finally capture the Joker.
Now there's a Batman. Who you want to play?
Finally, the Rocky movies feature some of the best training montages ever seen, but this first one deserves the champion's belt. In one of the most inspirational moments ever put to film, Rocky Balboa jogs through the streets of Philadelphia to the soaring music of Bill Conti. As he runs up the stairs of the Philadelphia Art Museum, it's the perfect metaphor for overcoming obstacles on the path to greatness. It is also the perfect example of how Newton's third law works. When Rocky is running, his feet push the ground back, and the reaction is the ground pushing him forward. Due to the substantial force difference, Rocky is able to move forward and reach his goals.
Now to summarize, the only way for Newton's third law to function properly is if the other two laws are working together. Newton's first law is important because it gives value and impact to forces being applied to objects. According to the first law, objects remain in uniform motion until they are acted upon. When Newton's third law is applied to this, forces are able to push or pull, which allows objects to move around. Newton's second law is important because it gives merit to the forces used in the third law. Without the equation, F equals ma, we would never know how much force is actually being applied to the objects. And finally, Newton's third law is important because it explains the reaction and action forces. Together, these three laws make up our universe. Without these laws of motion, our world would be a very different place.